What's up, gamers? Crew Steel coming at you with a Secret Labs maintenance video. Never thought I would be making one of these, but over the years my right armrest got really wobbly, extremely wobbly to the point where the armrest actually came completely loose and was spinning. This is obviously my left armrest. It doesn't have as much of an issue as the right one did, but you can see there's some play in there and everything. I'm gonna pop off the top, go inside, and show you what you got to do to tighten it back down if you don't think you're in the market just yet for a 2020 edition Secret Labs chair. All you really need is just a couple little screwdrivers, Phillips, a little tiny one and a decent, just normal size one, and we'll get into it. You don't need to take your armrest completely off, by the way. I just did this for the sake of the video. You'll see why. So to start with, to get to it, you got to take the top cover off, which is actually screwed on by these 4 screws. You see that? No, I can't because my hand's in the way and the camera angle back here. So you got 4 screws that keep the top cover on that you need to unscrew in order to get to the under layer. They're not that deep in. You don't really need a long screwdriver, such as this one that I'm using, but they are really tiny screws. Maybe get a little baggie or something if you prefer. I don't know what your setup's looking like, but you obviously do not want to lose the screws. So of course, when you're doing this shit, be careful. If you think you're in trouble with wobbly armrests or something, be in a different world when that shit goes missing. All right. And it might take a bit of muscle to pop off. There we go. Okay. Pop the one side off. How bad does that look? Oh, look at all that garbage. That's just a lot of... We'll be able to clean that off, actually, now that we're bothering going this far. You might want to do some cleaning on that. If that pops out, that's perfectly fine. Your little side. Nope. I'm screwed. If that happens, that's fine. That's normal. It's a part of the... Don't freak out. It's okay. Oh my god! I gotta spend $50 on replacement. So, okay, let's take a look inside. Okay. That little spring you're gonna have to take out. It's okay. It's not as bad as it looks. Now, the culprits that we're after are underneath this even more. So this whole stick might come out. This whole plastic, yeah, this whole plastic bar that the spring is attached to will probably just come completely off. I'm actually going to take a minute and adjust my camera up. Way easier. Okay. Wonder if I can do that to help keep that balance. If you're going to keep this attached to your chair, you can. That's fine. It's only a pain in the rear to just get the bottom 4 screws out if you're going to work with it like normal. This is pretty like side heavy, whatever. Here we go. So go ahead and just pull the spring back, push that down a smidgen and pop the spring out. Be gentle. Get the fuck out! My left arm never gave me issues. I just figured that since I knew how to do the one side, I might as well come over and do this side for the video. Or I'm sorry, if you're this far into the repair and maybe something happens, this is where maybe you shouldn't do this, but if you're careful, you know, if that should break off or that should break off, what hold the spring down, you're gonna have to get a new armrest. So be very careful when coming in here of that little piece of plastic and that little piece of plastic. If those get ripped, torn off, or if you get in here and you just see that that's missing, or if you're having faulty mechanism or whatever, and that you're kind of screwed, you gotta purchase a new armrest. I was just checking, they're $50 and all the armrests are out of stock. I've actually been checking over armrests to look about getting one of the newer armrest updates, because this is an original armrest. This is their original armrest before their 2020 series came out. So keep that in mind. This is still, once again, an original chair. The one that, if you've seen my videos before, this is the one that I got when I first got into streaming. This is still the very first line of chairs. You need a little baggie, do a little baggie. I got plenty of table space. These screws are really small. Like I said, the Steel Studio series, it's a brand new thing that I'm doing. I got really bored during COVID. And I said, what's something else that I can do? And I said, hey, oh boy, why don't you make a thing with behind the scenes stuff, showing some of your things off a little bit. Like I said, if you're not in the market for a 2020 series, but your armrests are wobbly, and your warranty is passed, and you're left with nothing but to buy a new arm, you're thinking, well, if you got a couple of Phillips head screwdrivers of the right size, you can probably save yourself $50 initially. But if you screw something up in this process, or if you just happen to notice that those things are gone, well, it doesn't matter what you do, most likely. Because these are the controls that adjust your forward and back. All right, now here we go. Now we're getting into the creme de la creme-ish, if you will. I'm trying to remember how the hell this popped off. Oh, right. Okay, I'm sorry. What am I doing? The whole thing is going to come off now. That whole thing just comes off. These are the screws that we're after. For me, on my right arm, it was the back screw that came completely screwed itself all the way off, and the whole armrest was spinning. These are the screws that we're after to make at least the armrest more secure to the rest itself. If for some reason it's the rest itself, the support, it's going to be Allen wrench screws. You're going to need an Allen wrench set for it. I don't know the exact size. The Allen wrench that I was working with, or I believe these are Allen wrenches. I'm not 100% great on my tools, but this was the set that I had to get it off. One of my screws was, the thread is like getting really crappy. So just, if it's that, you can probably just tighten them. Be careful with it, but you know, that's what you'd be dealing with if for some reason it's your arm structure, not your armrest or whatever. But then again, you know, you all put your chairs together. I'm sure you know that. But I figured I'd just talk about it right quick. I'm going to have balls. I'm going to go further and I'm going to show you what it's looking like underneath. This is where it got a little, oh my God looking. This is where it got a little freaky. Because underneath these, you have, if anyone's ever played pinball, you basically got two mini pinballs on each side. I'm trying to make sure the camera's still looking good with this shot. And I took it. It's like, oh my God at first, but then once you realize how it all works and how it's set up, it's not that too complicated to figure out how to put back. At least if you're watching this video, you'll know exactly like what to do with it. Okay, so that's basically completely off now. And that's what it looks like there. If you care to go this far, you can make sure that that plate's solid. If this is all solid, then okay, you know that the issue resides with what this video is focusing at. The arm structure itself is really fine. It's not that at all. The plastic, whatever you want to call it, is fine on that. There could be something further in here to deal with raising your armrests up and down. You'd probably have to get it under there. I'm not going that far. I'm not having any issues with that. I'm past my warranty, guys. If for some reason you want to go in there, if you want me to go in there and take a look at it, hell, I won't object to doing it. All right. If the lighting's shimmering, I'm sorry if it's hard to see the screws in a sense, but you really don't need to see the screws at this point. So once you take the screws out, what you're going to be dealing with, like I said, is 2 pinballs, the spring, and maybe this. Yeah, you will be dealing with the little button, I believe. There they are. Now, no, what I want. Yeah. Now this is basically how it should look. I'm gonna try and bring it up close for you guys. This little pinball, though, that should be like this one. It should be right there. Actually, it's because this is sticking up a bit. I have shaky hands. I'm so nervous. Yeah, that is sticking up. That should be more laying flat, but hey, I fiddle with my stuff an awful lot. There we go. It should be down like that. The pinball should be in like so. If it should get crazy, like I went ahead and pulled it out. If it should get like crazy, if you should drop something or whatever, that's basically what you want. Don't worry about things being too loose. They're a little loose to begin with, but how this works, and once again, kind of like before, that spring, they're supposed, where the spring rests, there's a piece of plastic that goes up into the spring there to hold the spring in place. If that should be gone, you're going to be kind of screwed too, because that helps keep the spring there. No shit. Yeah, well, you know, as you saw it before, though, if that plastic bar isn't there, the spring can shoot up and just the whole thing is shot. So let's say when you're unscrewing it, if this is the source you're going for to get after and that's what's wrong with it, you need new armrest. If maybe one of the balls just got out of place, he said balls. I don't know what they used to try to help. I don't know what the substance is that they used to help keep it there. But if for some reason, like me, when I went in there to fix my right armrest and it was fine, both of the little balls popped out. If you lose those little balls, you're screwed. You need a new armrest. So when you do this, just be careful. If one of the balls goes flying, hits your desk, rolls off your desk, you're going to have one hell of a fun scavenger hunt. I did. One of mine kind of shot out, and I found it, luckily, because I have hardwood floors. I managed to hear where it rolled to. So, but when you go to put it back in, I'm trying to... Well, you can kind of tell. When you go to put it back in, this indented side obviously faces down because it locks into place a little bit with that little plastic square. Another thing, if that's fucked, you're kind of fucked. Pardon my language, but what the fuck ever. Kind of just work it back into its groove so that it clicks and rests. It wants to pop out because of the screw, but once you get that far, put your thumb or whatever to hold the spring down and pull the little ball up. Put that ball in there. And then I'm doing the same with the other side. They're going to want to slide and roll around some. You put them back like that. There we go. Because if you start to let go, yeah, that spring's going to want to pop it up. They just like to do that for some friggin' reason. So yeah, but be careful. By the way, I'm not certified to do this. Don't ask me how all the mechanics and gadgets of this thing worked. When I got this far my first time, I did, got some hair on this thing. I did notice how, like, it did work. It's kind of nifty. I don't know how the hell they came up with the design, but, I'll give them some crafty credit. But essentially the balls, when you go to adjust this, the balls slide out into those little grooves for you to adjust or something like that. Something along them lines. My fingers are getting all sticky like. Yeah, this thing's still all. Yeah. Now when you go to put it back, be careful. It kind of just goes back into place. It might slide around a little bit. If it's sliding around a little bit, if it should slide around a little bit, I believe that's one of the balls isn't in place. So keep your thumb down in there a little bit so the spring won't fly or lose a ball. That's, I think, what led to me losing it in the first place, not knowing what I was working with, and chaos happened. But, you can see that the little... I'll take a minute to maybe try and explain a little bit further. Oh my god, that's dangerous. So this little slider... Not slider, I'm sorry. This bar here, that's there, goes in here, just to give you a little guideline. Literally a guideline. Maybe you can figure that out yourself, but hey, I figured I'd just be cool and really just try and explain it to you. But before you even go to put it back on, you gotta get the balls, you know. You got your balls to the wall, man. Sorry. There you go. I think I gotta do it like this. I think maybe... Nah, it won't matter like that. Okay, as long as that's like kind of like locked, so that way it's around the balls. You know. You can kind of like try to do a test out yourself in a way. Kinda, sorta. Or you could break it entirely like I just did there. That's fine too. But I'm coming back in here because I was having an issue. And like I said, that shit can happen to you. Then it gets all fucking dirty. All fucking ganky. With hairs. And crap. Gabbage. Let me look at something real quick and then I'll show you once I figure it out. Okay. So this goes on a specific way. Where the indent is there, but the spacer there. I don't know if that was exactly the issue. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. We'll see what happens in time. Being anal and getting sticky. Alright, hold on. I'm assuming, judging by all the whatever the hell they used to do this stuff, I'm gonna assume that the two holes here go on the top side. I'm calling this the top side because of the this piece of plastic there. So I'm gonna assume they face forward like that. Over it. Back on its little track. Push in. There we go. That's what we're looking for. I must have put it on the wrong way before. So it pushes in, and it should just be able to slide like that. And that's how it locks. All right, I just learned something new. I thought it was like universal. I didn't catch that when I did my first time. So hey, we're all learning something on this together. So that's how you know you did it right. If it's not sliding around easy and it was being difficult like how it was before. Because on my first one, that white thing didn't pop off. that was brand new to me. So take a good look at how that goes in a way. And it'll be kind of obvious too. I think the other way doesn't really fit on that well. Maybe that, and I just didn't catch it, I guess. I don't know. But keep that in mind that the top side, the north side of your armrest is where this piece of plastic is. It's not down here, so you got 3 little pieces of plastic up here. Have the 2 dots facing that direction. Gradually place it over. Hold it down. You go to hold it down. Push in. You'll feel it kind of even fall more into place when you do that. You got to push down so the spring is going to work. See, make sure it slides like that. And that's how that mechanic works. I have no idea who the hell came up with this thing, but brilliant in a way. All right, once again, let me go wash my hands. And yeah. So once again, if you have a wobbly armrest, it comes down to these screws. Don't go in there unless you need to, but that's what it looks like in there. That's what you'd be dealing with. You only go in there if it has anything to do with your sliding left to right. That's the only reason you'll ever go that far. To fix wobbly, all you need to worry about is these 2 little screws. Let me tell you something. The minute you go past them 2 little screws, which should be about, you know, maybe a 5 to 7 minute long process, ends up becoming 15 or 20. So like butter. Right. You making me a liar? Yeah, no, it's not. Okay. I was like fiddling with it. Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that. And when you go to put this back on, top side, it'll kind of come through there. That's kind of how you know where your target is a bit. Now, what you also got to mind in a way is where the screw placements are. They're going to obviously come up through these seams here. You might have to kind of like spread the seam apart, you know, to get it to go back down right. There you go. She'll slide like so. That's all part of the mechanic, but to get the actual functions working, you get the spring. You're going to want to lift this center bar up. See, we can work with it all the way down. Lift it up, slide it on over for a minute. Up and over, up and over. Take your spring, put her in, hey now. Lift the spring up a smidgen, insert lock so. Push, 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 and slide down. You're gonna have to push this over to, you know, you guys know what the hell you're doing. You're not incompetent. And you go ahead and fasten your screws. What's taking me about half an hour, maybe, hell, I don't know, maybe closer to 40 minutes at this point for me, will take you half the time it took me. Which, as I was saying, is the point of this series in a way. Is I have me go through all the bullshit and save you guys a little bit of the wondering. What are the nooks and crannies? What is the tips and tricks of doing some of this stuff? Okay, so once again, aiming for the underside onto the little divot doohickey thingy majiggy. Again. Yeah, okay, that worked. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of it on. There we go. Okay. All right, let's do it again. Check. Front and back. Check. Side to side. Hallelujah. That is that, my friends. That is how you fix. Still a smidge wobbly, but it's way better than it was before. Things I don't. Oh, almost forgot because I'm looking at them. I almost forgot. Don't rejoice yet, because the job ain't done, baby. I forgot about the little ones, the underside. But like I was saying, that's how you get in there. That's how you take care of at least a big part of the arm wobble problem, if not the whole thing. This has happened, like I've said before, over the course of 3 years. Or, I'm sorry, 4 years, I believe. Yeah, 4 years. I'm 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, it'll be 4 years this June that I've had this chair. I thought the arm wobbling problem was just something that was actually out of my control or beyond my skill of repairing. Because I didn't know what was inside the armrest. I didn't know what it was like. But what led me to want to figure it out was I saw how simple the problem was. In a way, it was just a loose screw that just gives over time. And as I said, it initially was the back bolt came completely off when as up as it could, and it just started spinning. And I'm like, oh, screw, I can get that. I'd probably just pop the cover off and do that. And boy, was I in for a treat. I was in for a little adventure. Right? I'm done. That's it. These are for putting the armrest back. Yeah, okay. No more screws. Mission accomplished. That's how you get in there. That's how you do it. That's how you fix the thingy. That's how you do it. Yeah, still wobbly. What the fuck you expect? Piece of plastic. 4 years old. There it is. Once you're done completely, no, you don't play a video game. You treat yourself, because it's gonna require some patience. It's gonna require a lot of patience. In all honesty, I can't imagine a better way on how to treat yourself. Than a beautiful Guinness. I knew I was saving this for an occasion. This is my very last one. Cheers, gents. To gaming in comfort and style. I almost forgot. If this was helpful, of course, you know what to do. Like, subscribe for more behind the scenes in Steel Studios. We're doing product reviews. When need to, I guess we're even getting into some mechanics. So, drop a follow. Subscribe, hit the follow. Share to someone that you know that has a Secret Labs chair. If you're in the market for a new one of the better top of the line ones, the link down to Secret Labs Titan chairs is down below. I'll also leave a link down below if you found out that some of the hardware is shoddy or something inside your armrest and you do need new armrests. I have armrests linked down below for you. Most of the time it looks like they're out of stock, but when you click on it, there is a notify me when resupplied to put your email address in to get notified for when you can get a brand new armrest for yourself. So my friends, once again, ooh, baby. Cheers, thank you, hope you liked it. I appreciate the subscription and definitely the likes. Now I'll see you in the next video.